Hello students, this is Dr. Rajneesh Kumar. I am working as Associate Professor in Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, Pharmacy Institute, Greater Noida. So, students, I am here with some very important topic of your syllabus of subject Pharmaceutical Organic Chemistry 1, subject code is BP 202T. So, students, the important topics belong to unit 4, in which we have will discuss about the carbonyl groups. Okay, we will discuss about what are the carbonyl groups, what are the properties they possess, how we prepare them. After that, we will discuss about the reactions which are given by the carbonyl groups containing compounds, mainly aldehyde or ketones. Okay. So, I hope that you understand the word carbonyl. Okay. So, without starting my lecture, I just want to discuss about some important feature of the carbonyl compounds. So, the carbonyl compounds are the compounds which are having carbonyl group. Carbonyl groups means C double bond O. Okay. The C of the carbonyl group is known as carbonyl carbon. It is mainly sp2 hybridized. Okay. So, the compounds which are having C double bond O group are known as carbonyl compounds. Mainly aldehyde and ketones belong to this that category. Although other compounds are also having this particular group, like carboxylic acid is also having CO group, then ester is also having this group, then amide is also having this group, but we will discuss about the aldehyde and ketone specifically. Okay. So, students, without wasting any time, I am just going to start my lecture on carbonyl groups. First of all, we should know that what are the carbonyl compounds. So, carbonyl compounds are the organic compounds which are having C double bond O, C double bond O in their structure. So, the compounds which are having this functional group, this carbonyl group, that is C double bond O, in their structure are known as the carbonyl compounds. Aldehydes. So, as I told you, two different categories are there, ketone and aldehyde. So, what are the difference in aldehydes and ketones? Aldehyde has at least one hydrogen atom bonded to the carbonyl groups. The other group may be either a hydrogen or an alkyl, means the 2 valency of the carbonyl is satisfied at least with one hydrogen, and the other valency is satisfied with the alkyl group or the aldehyde groups. Okay. In ketone, the carbonyl group is bonded to 2 alkyl groups or the aryl groups, means the carbon is not bonded to any hydrogen atom. Instead of hydrogen atom, 2 carbon, 2 alkyl or 2 aryl groups are present. The 2 groups bonded to the ketone may be similar or different, resulting in a symmetrical or unsymmetrical ketones. Okay. You can see the structure of carbonyl compounds here. This is a carbonyl carbon and this is the oxygen, which is doubly bonded with the carbonyl carbons. Aldehydes, one of the substituents on the carbon is hydrogen, while in case of ketone, both the substituents on the carbonyl carbons are alkyl groups or the aryl groups. So, now in the IUPAC system, the nomenclature of aliphatic aldehydes are named as alkanals, means normal in hydrocarbons. Suppose we are talking about the alkanes. So, if alkanes, in alkanes, if carbonyl group is present, then we have to remove the E from the alkane and added al. So, nomenclature will result in the name as methanol for the methane. Okay. Suppose karo this is methane. Okay. Suppose karo this is ethane, sorry, this is methane. If we are converting methane into the methanol, so we have to change the name of methane by just adding al in place of E of the methane. So, methane become methanol, ethane become ethanol, propane become propanol, and if we are talking about the aromatic aldehydes, then we have to take care that when the aldehyde group is attached to a ring, then the compound is called carbaldehyde. So, like in this particular example, this is benzene carbonaldehyde. Okay, a common name is benzaldehyde. Ketones are named as alkenones in the IUPAC nomenclature. Their name are obtained by replacing E of the corresponding alkane, and this is replaced by one. The carbon chain is numbered in such a way that the carbonyl groups get the lowest possible number. So, if we are talking about a compound having 3 carbon, so simply we will name it as propanone. The common name is acetone. Likewise, butane, the compound which is having 4 carbon and 1 ketone group, that is CO group, is known as butane 1-one, butane 2-one, because the carbonyl carbon is present on the second number. Then cyclohexanone is there, then pentane 3-one is there, then pent 4-ene 2-one is there, because a double bonds is also present in the structure as well as carbonyl groups. Okay. So, carbonyl group present on the second carbon and the double bond is present on the fourth. Okay. So, likewise, so this is all you have covered in the previous part of the organic chemistry. Now, coming to the structure of the carbonyl groups. So, here you can see this is the structure of carbonyl groups or the carbonyl compounds. So, actually the carbonyl carbon having 3 sigma bonds, 1 sigma bond, 2 sigma bonds, and just a minute, 1 sigma bond, 2 sigma bond and 3 sigma bonds. So, all the sigma bonds or you can say this carbon is sp2 hybridized. So, carbonyl carbon of both the aldehyde and ketones is sp2 hybridized. When I am saying that this carbon is sp2 hybridized, it means the structure is trigonal planar. So, the structure of this particular compounds is a planar. Okay. One of them, one of the 3 sp2 hybridized orbital get involved in the sigma bond formation with the half filled or p orbital of the oxygen, as you can see there. So, one sp2 hybridized sigma bond is overlapping with the p orbital of the oxygen, the remaining is forming the bond with the concerning alkyl groups or hydrogen. Okay. Whereas, rest of the 2 are assumed in sigma bond formation with the hydrogen and carbon depending on the structure of aldehyde and ketones. Okay. Unhybridized p orbital of carbonyl carbon form sigma bonds, pi bonds with another half filled p orbital of the oxygen atom by sideways overlapping, as you can see. So, these 2 orbitals are overlapping in the lateral way, okay, while these 3 sp2 hybridized are forming sigma bonds. So, you can just understand the structure. Now, come to the simple properties of the aldehyde and ketone. So, first of all we will discuss about the physical states. So, lower member of the aldehyde and ketones up to the 10 carbon atom are colorless volatile liquids except formaldehyde, which is gas at ordinary temperature. Higher member of aldehyde and ketones are solids with fruity smells. Lower aldehydes have unpleasant odor, but ketones possess pleasant smell. So, you should know or you should remember these points. Now, I am talking about the boiling point. So, boiling point of the aldehyde and ketones are slightly lower than the corresponding alcohols. Why? Because of the hydrogen bonds present in the alcohol, which is lacking in the aldehyde and ketone. However, their boiling point is slightly higher than that of the corresponding non-polar hydrocarbon or weakly polar ether. This is due to the hydrogen bonds present in their structure. Among isomeric aldehyde and ketones, boiling points of ketones is slightly higher than that of the aldehydes due to the presence of 2 electron donating alkyl groups, making them more polar. So, you just remember these points. Okay. Now, come to the third important property of the aldehyde and ketone, that this is solubility. Lower member of aldehyde and ketone up to carbon 4 are soluble in water due to the hydrogen bond present between polar carbon groups and the water. However, solubility decreases with the increase in molecular weight. Aromatic aldehyde and ketones are much less soluble than the corresponding aliphatic aldehyde and ketone due to the large benzene ring. However, all carbonyl compounds are fairly soluble in the organic solvents. Now, this is very you can say main points about the some important properties of the aldehyde and ketone. Now, come to the next important topic, which oftenly asked in the exams. So, So, how can we prepare the aldehyde and ketones? So, the most important method is it can be prepared from the alcohol. So, different alcohols can yielded different products. For example, if we using oxidation of alcohol and we are using primary alcohol. So, a primary alcohol upon the oxidation in the presence of strong oxidizing agent, suppose potassium permanganates or in the presence of some acidic catalyst will give always aldehyde. So, primary alcohol on oxidation will always provide aldehyde as a product, while secondary alcohol on oxidation in the same in the presence of same oxidizing agents will give the ketone. So, you can see that the product will always depend on the nature of the carbonyl compounds. Primary alcohol on oxidation give aldehyde, while secondary alcohol on oxidation give ketone. Alcohol can also provide carbonyl compounds in the another way. For example, when we go for the catalytic dehydrogenation of the alcohols, we can also get the ketone and aldehydes. Again, you can see, although the oxidation is going on in this process also, but here this is catalytic dehydrogenation and it is occurring in the presence of copper and at high temperature. So, you can see primary alcohol at high temperature up to 300 degrees centigrade in the presence of copper will provide aldehyde as a product, while secondary alcohol in the presence of copper at high temperature up to 300 degrees centigrade will provide ketone. So, these are very important method for the preparation of aldehyde and ketone. You have to remember that primary alcohol will always give aldehyde, secondary alcohol will always give ketones. Now, aldehyde and ketone can also be prepared from alkene. How? There are some important methods by which we can obtain carbonyl compounds from the alkenes. The first is reductive ozonolysis of the alkenes. So, you know about the ozonolysis. When we reacting alkene with ozone, ozone is reacting with the alkene, okay, in the presence of carbon tetrachlorides. So, you should know about this structure. This is ozonides or we call it as melanonides. Okay. So, this particular intermediate is obtained and after getting this intermediate, these bonds are broken and in the presence of zinc and water, and we are getting aldehyde along with the zinc oxide. Okay. The next important method is contain Wacker process. This is widely used in the industry. Here you can see oxidation is going on in the presence of palladium chloride and the copper chlorides. Okay. So, oxidation is going on, the alkene is reacting with the oxygen molecule and we are getting aldehyde. Here you can see again we are using asymmetric alkene, which is again reacting in the same manner in the presence of palladium chloride and the CuCl2. Okay. Oxidation occur and this time we are getting ketone, that is propanone. So, this is just remember, when we are using a simple alkenes, symmetrical alkene we are using we are getting aldehyde, when we are using asymmetric alkene we will get propanone. So, this is very important process. Now, come to the next method, that is preparation of aldehyde and ketone from the alkynes. So, you can see there we are using alkynes, normal alkynes, okay, and in the presence of dilute H2SO4 and HgSO4, when we go for the hydrolysis we will get, that is alcohol, and that alcohol on tautomerism, you know about the tautomerism, that is ketoenol isomerism. So, that particular alcohol on tautomerism will provide aldehyde. So, there is a possibility of tautomerism or ketoenol isomerism in which these two forms are interconvertible. So, we are getting acetaldehyde from the alkynes, or you can say terminal alkynes when we are using this. So, again you can see there this is a terminal alkynes, or you can say asymmetric terminal alkynes when in the presence of dilute H2SO4 and HgSO4 it undergoes hydrolysis. Okay. Again we are getting alcohol, but here this time the secondary alcohol, that secondary alcohol will again show the tautomerism and it is converted into the propanone. So, you just focus if you have remembered the Markovnikov rule. So, again this particular you can see this particular reaction, this will go as per the Markovnikov reactions. Okay. Means the hydrogen will be added to what carbon which is having more number of hydrogen. Okay. So, this carbon is having one hydrogen. So, next hydrogen will get into this. So, we are getting propanone when we are using asymmetrical terminal alkynes. Okay. We are getting aldehyde when we are using simple alkynes. Okay. By the hydrolysis process in the presence of H2SO4 and HgSO4. The next important method of preparation is from Grignard reagents. So, Grignard reagent is very important molecule. You have already seen the application of Grignard reagent for the preparation of many molecules. So, again this reagent can also be used in the preparation of aldehyde and ketones, and how we will see. So, first of all you can see Grignard reagent when reacted with the ester, okay, addition occur. Okay. So, you can see this is ester. Okay. Means when we are having formic acid and we are just preparing a formic ester, and that formic ester when reacted with the RMGX, that is Grignard reagent, we are getting an addition product like this, and after getting this addition product, ultimately you can see the rearrangements occur and we are getting aldehyde. Okay. Rearrangement of this particular molecules, that is adduct occur and we are getting aldehyde as a products. Again we will take another example in which we are taking acetic ester, and addition of Grignard reagent with this particular ester will again provide a addition products which is on rearrangement provide the ketone as a products. So, very important reaction for the preparation of aldehyde and ketone. Now, coming to the next method, aldehyde and ketone can also be prepared by addition of two nitriles. Okay. So, again we are using Grignard reagents that Grignard reagent is added to the nitriles and we are again getting a adduct addition product. That addition product upon the hydrolysis will provide aldehyde, ammonia, and you can say MgOX, OHX as a byproduct. So, aldehyde we are getting in this reaction also. Again you can see we are using this molecules at Grignard reagent added to this particular molecule, and we are again getting addition products which on hydrolysis provide the ketone. So, you have to take care that when we are using this type of molecules, we are getting aldehyde. When we are using this type of molecules, okay, we are getting ketone. Now, the next important method for the preparation of aldehyde or ketone containing reaction of carboxylic acid. Okay, how? First reaction involves catalytic decomposition of the carboxylic acid, as you can see. Okay. So, you are seeing the example of formic acid. So, two molecules of formic acid is used. We are using MnO, that is manganese oxide. Very high temperature will be required for this reaction to be carried out. Then alumina is also there. Okay. So, at the last of the reaction we are getting formaldehydes, okay, along with one molecule of carbon dioxide and one molecule of water. So, when we are using formic acid, we are getting formaldehyde. Now, in the next reaction we are using two molecules of acetic acid. Okay, you can see there this reaction is also following the same mechanism, and we are getting the acetone along with one molecule of carbon dioxide and one molecule of water. So, catalytic decomposition of the carboxylic acid will also provides aldehyde and ketone depending on the which type of carboxylic acid we are using. Okay. Now, carboxylic acid salt can also be used as a substrate to prepare the aldehyde and ketones. Here you can see when we are using calcium formate, okay, and we just heated that molecules, we are getting formaldehyde along with small molecule of calcium carbonate. Here you can see we are using calcium acetate. Calcium acetate will provide acetone, okay, along with one mole of calcium carbonate. So, whenever in last two reaction you have seen that when we are using formic acid or formic acid salt, we are getting formaldehyde. As soon as we increase the carbon or carboxylic acid chain, means when we are using acetate, okay, or the acetic acid, we will get acetone as a product. Okay. So, aldehyde can be prepared only by using the formaldehyde or the formic acid salt, while acetone can be prepared by using the acetic acid or the acetic acid salt. So, next method involves different derivative of carboxylic acid for the preparation of aldehyde and ketone. So, the first method, which is very important and it is also known as Rosenmund's reaction. What is happening actually is this reaction. Here we carried out the reduction of acid chloride. Okay. The reaction is carried out in the presence of palladium or some other catalyst. For example, here you can see we are using acid chloride, that is RCOCl. Reduction is going on. So, H2 molecule is added to that particular acid chlorides, and we need some catalyst, for example, palladium and barium sulphate and sulfur. So, when this reaction is going on, reduction of acid chloride occur and we are getting aldehyde along with one molecule of HCl. Okay. So, one H from this hydrogen will be added to this carbon and chlorine will be removed, which will form HCl with one remaining atom of the hydrogen. Okay. So, this is very important reaction. You please remember Rosenmund reaction as a preparatory method for the aldehyde and ketone, where acid chlorides is reduced in the presence of different catalysts like palladium to produce aldehyde and ketone. Okay. Now, the next method where we are using acid chloride is again, it is again comes under the category of reduction reaction. So, here you can see acid chloride is undergone reduction, but at this time we are using different chemical to react with that particular acid chloride, and we are using dialkyl cadmium. So, that dialkyl cadmium bring about the reduction of the acid chlorides, and we are getting acetone along with the cadmium chlorides. Okay. So, we just change the reducing agents in this particular reaction. Dialkyl cadmium is being used as a reducing agents. The next method also involves the reduction, but at this time we are not reduce the acid chloride, we are reduce another derivative of the carboxylic acid, that is ester. Here you can see. So, we are using ester, that is RCOR in the presence of a strong reducing agent, for example, sodium aluminum hydride. That particular ester will be reduced to aldehyde and alcohol. So, we have to cautionally separate out the aldehyde when we are going for this method for the preparation of aldehyde. So, we are getting mixture of aldehyde and ethanol, from which we have to separate out aldehydes, okay, in pure form by different means of filtration or purification. The next method involves nitriles reduction. So, here you can see we are again using very strong reducing agent, for example, lithium aluminum hydride to reduce the nitriles, and when nitrile will be reduced, it will provide us aldehyde as a last product. Here you can see nitriles is reacting with lithium aluminum hydride, which is a very strong reducing agents. We are getting a product which again hydrolysis will provide the aldehyde, that is RCHO. The next important reaction is Stephan reduction. Here again nitrile get reduced, but we are using different reducing agents. So, as in previous reaction for the reduction of nitrile, we are using lithium aluminum hydride. So, in place of lithium aluminum hydride, we will use SnCl2, that is stannic chlorides and HCl. Okay. So, here you can see we are using nitriles in the presence of SnCl2 and HCl. This nitrile is converted into aldimine hydrochloride, which on hydrolysis provide aldehyde. So, you can remember, or you must remember, that which method is used for both aldehyde and ketone and which method is useful for the preparation of only aldehyde or the only ketones. Okay. So, this method is again very important, as you can see the aldehyde is prepared. Okay. The next method involves aromatic carbonyl compounds as a substrate for the preparation of aldehyde ketones. The first reaction is named as Itard reactions. Here you can see toluene is being used, and in the presence of some strong oxidizing agent it will be oxidized. As you can see 2H from this toluene will be removed, in place of we are adding OCrCl2OH. Okay. That particular molecule on hydrolysis will provide the benzaldehyde molecule as a end product. The next method involves bi-side chain chlorination followed by the hydrolysis. Again toluene is being used and we are going for the chlorination in the presence of light, that is free, means it is this reaction is following the free radical mechanism. We are getting benzyl chloride, which on hydrolysis at high temperature will provide benzaldehyde. Next important method, you all aware of that Gattermann-Koch reaction, which is actually we use for the formylation. So, benzene in the presence of carbon monoxide and HCl and anhydrous AlCl3 will be used as a catalyst. So, that benzene will get formalized to get benzaldehyde molecule. Okay. The next reaction is Friedel-Karp acylation reaction. So, we use acylating reagent like RCOCl, benzene get acylated and we are getting ketone. You can see acetophenone and other aromatic ketone can also be prepared by this reaction. The next important is Riemer-Tiemann reaction. So, again we are using phenol, when we are using CaCl3 in the presence of NaOH, we are getting a salt. Okay. Again this salt in the presence of base, we are getting you can see this CaCl2 is converted into CHO, which in the presence of acidic hydrolysis occur and we are getting for benzaldehyde derivative of phenol. So, this is all about the introduction, properties and the method of preparation of the aldehyde in ketones. Hope you will get this lecture very useful. So, thank you students, thank you so much.